In this episode of Nurturing Young Minds, let me begin with a question that might stop you in your tracks. When was the last time you truly noticed a child's inner struggle? Not the missing homework, not the classroom disruption, not the eye roll or the silence. I mean the quiet anxiety behind the behavior, the pressure, the worry, the fear of not being enough. Pause for a moment. Someone just came to mind, did they not? Today, we are talking about something that is no longer optional in education. We are talking about childhood anxiety and stress. And more importantly, we are talking about what we, as educators and caregivers, can actually do about it. Because nurturing young minds and empowering futures means we cannot ignore the emotional lives of the children we serve. Childhood anxiety is more common than many people realize. Nearly 1 in 5 children will experience significant anxiety before adulthood. That means in a classroom of 25 students, several may be silently battling worries that affect their avoidance to focus, participate, or even feel safe. Anxiety does not always look dramatic. Sometimes it looks like perfectionism. Sometimes it looks like avoidance. Sometimes it looks like anger. And sometimes it looks like a child who simply fades into the background. Let me share a story. I once worked with a student who was brilliant in written assignments, but froze whenever he had to speak in front of the class. His hands would tremble. His breathing would change. He would ask to go to the restroom right before presentations. At first glance, some might interpret that as avoidance or lack of preparation, but when we slowed down and paid attention, we recognized it as anxiety. Instead of forcing exposure without support, we built small, intentional steps. He practiced presenting to one peer, then to a small group. We introduced simple breathing exercises before speaking. We established predictable routines so he knew exactly what to expect. Over time, something shifted. His shoulders relaxed, his voice steadied. Eventually, he volunteered to present first. That transformation did not happen because we removed the challenge. It happened because we combined empathy with structure. That is the balance we must strike. Validation without overprotection. Support without lowering expectations. Children experience anxiety differently. Some withdraw and become quiet observers. Others act out. Some complain of stomach aches or headaches with no clear medical cause. The roots are complex. Academic pressure, social comparison, family stress, digital exposure, the constant performance culture amplified by social media. All of these layers influence how a child feels inside. So what can we do, practically and immediately? First, create predictable routines. Consistency reduces uncertainty, and uncertainty fuels anxiety. Even small rituals at the beginning of a class or bedtime routine at home can anchor a child's nervous system. Second, teach emotional language. Many children feel overwhelmed simply because they do not have the vocabulary to describe what is happening inside them. When we help them name their emotions, we help them regulate those emotions. You might ask, are you feeling nervous, frustrated, or worried? That simple shift builds self-awareness and resilience. Third, model coping strategies openly. Take a slow breath in front of them. Say, I am feeling a little overwhelmed, so I'm going to pause and breathe. When adults model regulation, children learn it is safe and normal to do the same. Fourth, gradually expose children to manageable challenges. Avoidance strengthens anxiety. Gentle exposure paired with support weakens it. Celebrate small victories. They matter more than we realize, and we must also be mindful of common pitfalls. Minimizing feelings with phrases like, you are fine, or stop worrying can unintentionally shut down communication. Over-accommodating by removing every challenge can reinforce fear. Ignoring environmental stressors such as bullying or excessive academic pressure leaves root causes unaddressed. And relying solely on medication without skill building misses the opportunity for long-term growth. Here is a truth we need to embrace. Anxiety is not a flaw. It is not a character weakness. It is a nervous system response. And when addressed early with intention, children can learn to manage it effectively and even grow stronger because of it. So let me ask you another question. What is one shift you could make this week to create a calmer, more emotionally safe environment for a child? Is it adjusting your tone? Introducing a short mindfulness practice? Checking in privately with a student who seems withdrawn? Leadership in education today is not only about curriculum and assessment, It is about emotional architecture. It is about designing spaces where children feel psychologically safe enough to take risks, speak up, and learn deeply. That is the work of nurturing young minds and empowering futures. If this conversation resonates with you, I invite you to reflect, comment, and share your experience. What strategies have worked in your classroom or home? What challenges are you navigating? Your insight could be the encouragement another educator needs today. And if you found value in this episode, share it with a colleague, a school leader, or a parent who is searching for guidance. Together, we can create learning environments that do more than deliver content. We can cultivate resilience. We can strengthen emotional intelligence. We can shape confident, capable young people prepared not only to succeed academically, but to thrive in life. Thank you for joining me on this episode of Nurturing Young Minds podcast. Until next time, remember, when we nurture young minds, we truly empower futures.